Gambia's National Assembly approves 2021 draft estimate budget after days of scrutiny. Egyptian President Al-Sisi pays force official state visit to South Sudan. And Brikama Craft Market to be transformed into a national arts center according to Tourism Minister Ahmed Ba. This and more coming your way on The World Today. Hello, this is Africa TV and you are watching the World Today News Bulletin. I am Amadou Kante. Many thanks for joining us, and now the news in detail. And we begin with matters of the National Assembly, because Gambia's National Assembly has approved more than $54 million as loan scheme for themselves. The lawmakers say they want to build their houses and are allowed by law to take loans from taxpayers' monies as their terms are about to expire. Let's have more details of that in this report. Lawmakers in Banjul on Thursday approved a motion to appropriate themselves a building loan scheme of $54.4 million from the 2021 draft budget. The approved loan scheme was proposed by nominated National Assembly member Yakuba Jaite. In moving her motion, she argues that it is a constitutional right for National Assembly members to decide their salaries, benefits and allowances. She said it is important for the National Assembly members to acquire the loan, considering that it is a service that all civil servants, including cabinet ministers, have the privilege.
And this is a service that the entire civil service has access to, and also other public corporations in the public service, and even the ministers have had this privilege. So because we allocated these lands and there are no funds to build the lands, I am suggesting we establish a loan for National Assembly members and the staff, an amount of $54,400,000 for 58 lands and the 10 staff that were allocated plots, each to receive an amount of $800,000 or less, if depending on their request, with a 50% write-off as we have in other corporations in the public service. This is the proposal.
In response, the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Mamburen Jai, clarifies that no cabinet minister has access to any loan scheme from the civil service.
I just want to make clarification publicly. As far as the cabinet ministers are concerned, none of the cabinet members have accessed any loan scheme from the civil service. I want to make it very clear. Clarification, none, zero.
Shortly after the loan scheme was endorsed by the lawmakers, National Assembly member for Serekunda Halifa Sallah, who is among lawmakers who didn't support the idea, said it was not ideal to approve something that does not exist. He said the National Assembly appropriating something that does not exist means it is not only against the law but morally wrong.
One cannot approve what does not exist. Under the current budget, what we are saying does not exist here. And what we are required under Section 91, Honorable Speaker, is very clear. What it is saying is that your role is to put the question on each of the votes in turn. What exists, and this is what we amend. that amendments shall be taken at the appropriate point in the estimates, and any question on an amendment or an amendment to an amendment shall be disposed of before the question on the vote or the vote as amended. So we are looking at the items, and if we have any amendment to the items, we do so, and then move until we finish with the vote. Then we accept the vote, which is the head. And this is what we have been doing. Now you are creating an item by National Assembly voting, and that item does not exist, and you want to appropriate that. Even common sense can tell you that that's not correct, not to talk about law.
On Friday, Halifa Sallah came up with a motion for the Assembly to rescind its decision on Yakumba's proposal, arguing that it is not in line with the Constitution, the Public Finance Act, and the relevant standing orders of the Assembly. However, members voted against the motion, with 17 members voting against it, while 16 members supported his motion. National Assembly members in Banjul approved more than $50 million as loan scheme for themselves, as you heard from that report. Next, we move on and report on matters of vaccine of COVID-19, because the officials of the African Center for Disease Control and Prevention have raised concern that African citizens could be the last to access their expected COVID-19 vaccines. Developed countries have already ordered billions of doses, which may pose a challenge for millions of vulnerable Africans to get access to the vaccine. While the African Union has supported processes outlining plans for member states to acquire vaccine, the Africa CDC is equally concerned about the distribution process within and around the continent. Here are more details of that in this report.
The light at the end of the COVID-19 tunnel is peeking through. Preliminary results from 3 vaccine candidates have shown incredible promise. But in Africa, there are concerns that citizens could be last in line after developed nations pre-ordered billions of doses. Being locked out would not only leave hundreds of millions vulnerable, but could have a wide-ranging impact on Africa's ability to recover and could lead to discrimination.
We are very concerned as a continent that once these vaccinations start in a developed world, there will be stringent conditions that says that you have to have a vaccine certificate in order to travel. And that will become, we've already seen some airlines indicating that once vaccines are available, they will need a vaccine certificate to travel.
The Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the target is to immunize at least 60% of Africa's population. 3 contenders are being considered: the Moderna and the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines from the United States, and the AstraZeneca jab from the United Kingdom. Preliminary data from late-stage clinical trials has shown at least 90% efficacy in all of them. The African Union says it is in talks with the vaccine manufacturers through COVAX, a global initiative co-led by the World Health Organization to help ensure equitable access to COVID-19 vaccines. But the Africa CDC says there are other challenges beyond just a vaccine being available. According to World Health Organization, 40 African countries are still not fully ready for vaccine acquisition.
We have to look at the delivery part of this and say, well, if a vaccine was here today, in Africa today, how would we deliver it? I think the first 2 vaccines, that is the Moderna vaccine and the Pfizer vaccine, require very stringent storage conditions. The Moderna vaccine requires about minus 20-something degrees Celsius storage and distribution. The Pfizer vaccine requires about minus 70. And these are all conditions that will make it very challenging for us as a continent to begin to access those vaccines in a timely fashion.
Apart from the COVAX initiative, which guarantees the continent 20% coverage for any vaccine produced, the AU has so far mobilized $12 million from the World Bank and $5 billion from the Afrexim Bank. With additional funds from individual member states, the AU aims to achieve the remaining 40% coverage required to keep the continent safe. In mid-December, the Africa CDC is meeting with all member states to discuss in detail, once vaccines are acquired, how there will be equitable distribution of the vaccines according to each country's needs.
The Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, they are concerned about the access and distribution of COVID-19 vaccines in the continent. Now we come back home because a group of concerned citizens marched on Saturday to call for action against cybercrime and bullying. Sona Tunkra has more details of that in this report.
The protesters marched in scores with banners and showing solidarity to victims of cyberbullying, saying they want the Gambian government to take stringent action against cyberbullying, legislating against it.
The march past here is meant to raise awareness, let people come to understand what is cyberbullying, what are the effects of cyberbullying, and how cyberbullying can impact on individuals. And most importantly, people need to understand that everybody can be a victim. Everybody. It's not only those that are victims already. It was like Kumba yesterday, either today, it could be Omar tomorrow. So that is what it is. And after raising awareness, we will definitely be lobbying our parliamentarians because we want our parliamentarians to legislate against cyberbullying because cyberbullying does destroy lives.
Among the protesters is a victim of cyberbullying who says perpetrators use this as a tool to suppress personal progress.
Cyberbullying. I was a victim of cyberbullying.
I am a victim of cyberbullying. And as a Gambian, I deem it necessary for people to stop such acts. Cyberbullying is very bad. You take someone's nude picture, post it on social media, just to damage or silence them. This wasn't the Gambia we knew. Gambia was known for its decency and support for one another. But now that we are bound by politics and tribalism is becoming a cause of cyberbullying. When you see someone progressing, you decide to damage the person so that they will be shunned by the society.
The marchers petitioned the government of the Gambia and other stakeholders to take measures to cope online bullying, to criminalize cyberbullying and effectively enforce the provision. For Africa TV, Sohna Tunkara.
And from the report, thereby Sohna Tunkara has citizens march against cyberbullying in the Gambia. We will now take a break and come back shortly with the remaining of the story. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
For the first time in the Gambia, your favorite GSM operator, Africell, is the first and only GSM operator to launch a brand new technology called the eSIM. The eSIM simply means you can use your phone without a SIM card. Do you have an iPhone 11, any of the iPhone X series, a Google Pixel 3, or any new phone that supports the e-technology? Then walk into any Africell customer care center and activate your eSIM today. With your virtual Africell SIM, you can use more than one number without having a physical SIM card in your phone. Enjoy this brand new technology for the first time in the Gambia, brought to you by Africell. eSIM, your phone without a SIM card. For more information, please call 111. Where Africell goes, nobody dares to follow.
Welcome back, and you are watching the World Today News Bulletin on Africa TV. And now to the rest of the stories, and we do some politics now, because after its official launch on Friday, the 29th of November 2020, the Citizens Alliance held its first political rally on Saturday in Brikama. Registered with the Independent Electoral Commission exactly a year ago, the Citizens Alliance became the 11th political party in the Gambia. The CC tells us more of that in this report.
The Citizens Alliance, which is part of the newest political parties in the Gambia, held its first political rally in Brikama on Saturday. The new party said it seeks to lift the Gambian people out of poverty. It is headed by Dominic Mendy, Rafi Daib and Dr. Ismaila Cisse. Speaking at the rally, the newly elected leader of the party, Dr. Ismaila Cisse, who is also a political science lecturer at the University of the Gambia, says the Citizens Alliance is formed to transform and develop the Gambia.
Citizens Alliance is the party that can lift Gambia. Let us not try to fool each other in politics. Let us stop following our own interests in politics. Anyone who is seeking your votes, let the person speak the truth. Let them tell you what they will do to solve your problems, as well as those of your children.
The party is said to be founded on the ideals of democracy, civil liberties, economic and social cohesion. Dominic Mendy, the national president of Citizens Alliance, urged voters to elect Dr. Cisse as president of the Gambia in next year's election.
I support Ismaila Cisse, and I bring Ismaila here as your candidate for the 2021 election. Now it is left to you to support him and give him your votes for him to be the president. I bring Ismaila here to introduce him as your presidential candidate in the 2021 elections.
The Citizens Alliance said it is a citizens-focused political party and its aims are to work towards a prosperous future, addressing society's many challenges and promote equity. Yahya Bojang, a supporter of Citizens Alliance, called on Gambian citizens to vote for the party in the next cycle of election.
I call on the youth and the people of Brikama to come out to support Dr. Cisse. Support the Citizen Alliance, because if you look at the history of this country, after 52 years of independence, nothing has changed.
Citizens Alliance is one of the 16 political parties in the Gambia expected to take part in the 2021 presidential elections. The party, according to its founders, will promote a citizens-driven agenda with policies that seek to empower the collective, social and economic development of the Gambia. It also intends to eradicate all forms of discrimination. For iAfrica News, I am Cisse.
Citizens Alliance, CA, if you like, one of the newest political parties in the Gambia, held its first political rally over the weekend in Brikama. And from the report, we move on, because while continuing his tour of tourism sites and infrastructure across the country, the Minister for Tourism on Thursday announced plans to change the Brikama craft market to a national earth market. Ahmad Ba cited the government's promise to promote domestic and rural tourism as a reason. Now, Fatmata Kasim has more details of that in this report.
Without standard lodging, the Brikama craft market's attraction to tourists will be minimal. And while the government said it is planning to transform the craft market into a national arts center, handicraft sellers have called for the establishment of lodges or hotels of standards. This will allow for tourists to stay a little longer in the town and attract more local businesses, including the craft markets, according to Amin Jai, the president of the Brikama craft market. Njai told the Minister of Tourism, Ahmad Ba, on Thursday that they need help.
Craft market in the Gambia. Brikama Craft Market is the founder of all these markets in the Gambia. So with that, we don't have any tourist area. We don't have any tourist area here, neither a hotel or a good guest house whereby a tourist can come there. So people like you people, as far as Brikama Craft Market is concerned, and our people, we are pleased appealing to you. We need your help and a support and a love. Please, Honorable Minister, go back and then think about us. We really need your help, because it's not easy. It's not easy for us. It's very, very difficult. And then this market is the founder of all these markets. So, but for Brikama, we are still now behind. We cannot go to a hotel for a welcome. Anywhere we knock, there are other places that, they are going there. So with you, Mr. Ba, this market is really telling you to give us a big help.
In response to the plea, Ahmad Ba said the government was aware of the concerns raised. The tourism minister announced plans to transform the craft market in Brikama to a national arts center and also to build a standard hotel in the town.
Brikama doesn't have a 4-star hotel. Very unfortunate. We are aware Farafenni doesn't have a 4-star hotel. Very unfortunate. We are aware Basse don't have a 4-star hotel. Very unfortunate. The same thing to Soma. And we are working and seeing what best we can do to support and encourage investors to come and really build a standard hotel here. Even if 50-bedroom hotel, let it be standard and a good hotel that we can accommodate guests when they come. I think it's rather unfortunate everything was centered in Greater Banjul, the other end, and the other parts of the Gambia were left behind. And that's why this government wants to promote domestic and rural tourism and expand tourism beyond the Greater Banjul area to all parts of the country. We are building a few hotels somewhere in the country, and I think Birkama will not be left out. In due course, we will start with the market and then we move on to another project. But the ministry officials and the agencies will contact the Birkama Americans and the governor's office to advance this idea of having a Birkama market to be converted into a national art market in the Gambia.
The craft market was established in the town of Birkama in 1975 and was moved in 2007 to its current location on the main road. There are 57 craft stalls, but the market accommodates over 200 members who make and sell their artwork within and around the market. For iAfrica TV, I am Fatoumata Kasim.
Birkama craft markets there to be transformed to be a standard market, of course, as highlighted there by the tourism minister. Now, finally, to turn to some sports news now, because the Gambia defeated neighboring Senegal 4-3 on penalties to clinch the WAFU Zone trophy in chess. Senegal, the young Scorpions, triumphed in Sunday's final after a hard-fought 2-all draw in regulation time before going on to win this in shootout after extra time. Let's have more details of how the final played out in this report. Gambia's Under-20 has booked a place in next year's AFCON Under-20 tournament in Mauritania after the team was crowned champions for the WAFU Zone Championship in chess, Senegal. The Gambia defeated host Senegal to the title on Sunday, with the young Teranga Lions coming from behind to level at 2-2. The draw after full-time pushed the game into extra time before the junior Scorpions emerged winners in a dramatic 4-3 win in penalty shootouts. Gambia were 2-1 up thanks to goals from Habibu Mendy and Kajali Drame, who had put the young Scorpions ahead to victory in regulation time before they were pegged back. Matar Mboj and his Sages lost 5-1 to Senegal in their opening game on November 22nd before bouncing back to edge past Sierra Leone and Guinea. The Gambia secures 2 sub-regional titles in 3 years, with the latest win after clinching the 2018 edition in Monrovia, Liberia, by defeating the host 2-1 in the final. Reporting for Africa News, I am Amadou Kante. All right, there was a dreadful action there to end that report, as Gambia Under-20 are the champions for the WAFU Zone A and eventually qualifying also for the 2021 Under-20 championship in Mauritania. And we say congratulations to the junior Scorpions. And with that, we finally bring this news bulletin to an end. But for more details on this and other stories, as always, you can log on to our website on africa.tv. But for now, though, many thanks for the pleasure of your company. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and bye for now.